for Master Flex. I was still a rapper at the time. And many girls probably would have been like, oh, let me ride his horse, you know, and use him to get on the radio, you know, with their own. But I was like, you know what, I know what I have as a rapper, and I know that, you know what, I don't need all of that. Cause I got my back and I know what I have. So as long as you know what you have, you ain't gotta suck nobody's dick.
I know that's right.
You feel me? Right. So I was like, you know what? I'm getting ready to get this out, and once I do, they're gonna know who I am, and in that order, I'm gonna present them with my music. And also the domestic violence issue. So it's so many things going on in my mind that people don't. When you nitpick me, people will just be like, oh my God, I didn't really know all that was in there. Like it's just so much.
Right.
So you went on.
Fast forward to the present. Through my radio interviews and through the books, I wound up meeting up with Isaiah. And he's doing his like TV. He's an actor. He did plenty of TV shows. Was just killing season, all types of stuff. I can just go on and on and let you know. But I met him through this50.com, and we decided to team up, and pretty much any interview I do, you do, and any interview he does, I do.
Oh.
Okay. So, right, and so that's how we teamed up, and that's how you can go from there. We're going about 5.
Yeah, we said in another interview, like, we like the hip hop version of Tammy Terrell and Marvin Gaye and shit. Man.
Okay. Not them both.
Like,
that's them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's them. That's the new single and shit.
Of my highly anticipated mixtape, Big Trouble in Little China.
That's gonna be the anthem for the summer. That's them basically talking about the girls that just want the money and the guys that just want the pussy and shit.
That's life.
Right, but it's also going for like, hello, if you're gonna come at it, like come with something, like don't just come and be like, yeah, ma, like whatever, like alright, I got bills too and all types of stuff, and especially like a woman like me that's a bitch got her own thing going on. We not trying to have come home and you still in the bed with the boxes. This ain't washed. Like no, it's not going. It's not going down. I mean, I think it's a 50-50.
They got a lady job.
It's a 50-50 situation.
And on the other hand, if a man is working and he busting his ass and he's on his grind, when he come home, you better spread them legs, do what you got to do.
Talk about it.
Get that shit shaking. Word up. You know what I mean? Because there's a bunch of girls like, your wife ain't doing this, and then y'all gonna be tight after that.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
Wait a minute. It sounds like
that's Shawanda love segment, right? That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, we want to have a book back for Shawanda's love segment. That's real. Relationship. That's what we talk about. Relationships.
Because we need to hear how these men is really feeling.
Oh yeah, we can do the love segment. That's
I think
get back to
make a long story. I think 50-50, but getting back, yes, this get back to it. The moral of the story was that he had the hooks up. He had the hook up at Power 105 because him and DJ Self grew up together, whatever. Just like Papoose had Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, talk about that Papoose story.
Getting back to that.
Come on,
but basically, what had happened was what I'm finding out through my bro right here was that he approached my boy on some, you know, what's going on with China Star, getting that K-Slay, you know, yes, talking about, you know, why I was saying what I'm saying. I said what I said because, you know, him and K-Slay had a conversation. The conversation involved me. And that's my boy. And when you're in the rap game, you one of the boys. You know, it's no longer a guy situation. It's pretty much like he's getting at, we a team. And when they said, when this nigga K-Slay said what we gotta say to him about me, it was pretty much like, oh, I'm not gonna play China Star at Hot 97 because I don't lose my job. That was the exact quote. And it was like, okay, so you're a DJ, and Funk Master Flex is a DJ. So basically, you're telling me that you're scared of losing your job from another DJ. This is not Ebro. Like, so then I was like, are you straight stunting or straight fronting?
Right.
Because what really is the food chain going on there? Like, what's the pecking order where step your fucking game up and be a fucking man where you wouldn't be afraid about no other DJ. You know, it's just like you worrying about another girl that's beside you making you lose your job.
But
I'm gonna step my game up. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, you know, oh, I don't want to play that because I'm worried about losing my job. And, you know, it's like, are you straight stuck in the front end was the point. And also, it was like, okay, y'all stepping in him saying whatever. He would tell you the story of how he feels. But my situation is, I'm not fitting to double back and suck nobody's dick. I said what I had to say, and I'm going full speed ahead.
Yes.
When I went to Club Jaguars, we met up with Flex, and Flex personally asked him for me to come do an interview with him, to come see him by the DJ booth, and speak to him about his song that was playing on the radio. I was going all out the time for his shit. I didn't give a fuck, you know why? Because that's where my loyalty lies, with my niggas. You feel me? And I was like, all right, you know, I know you. Let's dead the book beef. Let's move ahead. You feel me? And just do what you do. It was already playing. It's not like I'm saying him to play something that wasn't already playing. But from what I'm hearing is when he found out that I had a little ad-libs in there or whatever, or I was associated with it, he pulled it back.
Right.
So that's when I came in.
Right.
Don't do that. You feel me? Let the public be the judge of the music. You're the DJ.
Yeah,
your job is to play the music.
That's the main.
Not to worry about who's behind it and getting your feelings involved like a little bitch. That is so Mr. C. It ain't time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah,
Put your emotions involved and be the best DJ that you can be.
Yeah.
Because what happened was he was saying, okay, well, I don't care. You know, basically he did care because obviously you wouldn't have called me to the DJ booth. But what happened was he didn't believe that I could really make that Power 105 move. You feel me?
Yeah.
I had that in my back pocket. What I was telling him was, you my ex. I don't feel like really bringing this book to the front because that's when I was younger. I'm trying to move on. You feel me?
Right.
And do something else. But if you play with it, I'm gonna show you who I be. You feel me? So then when I saw he was like, I don't care if you don't care, I don't care. Let's get it then. So let me show you. If I come to your own radio station in the morning and air you out on your own fucking station, what you think I'm gonna do at the next station? Hello?
Yeah,
We need a couple of gunshots.
At the end of the day, it's like the DJs shouldn't have any control of what plays.
You got anything to say about it?
They should be able to just play the music and let the people decide about what's going on.
It haven't been going like that.
As far as Papoose, that's my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that nigga for years, and I told him the same shit. Like, if K Slade don't play my shit, and Fun Master Flex don't play my shit, I'm supposed to stop rapping.
Right.
Like, nah, I gotta keep going.
It gotta
like,
keep going.
You know what I'm saying?
You're nothing but a needle in a haystack.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you don't see, like, at the end of the day, look what DJ Envy's doing. Like, he's pulling ratings. At the end of the day, don't fucking underestimate niggas. Don't fuck with it. Because at the end of the day, like I said, if you did not see what I did, why would you even try to play with me like that? Like, I was being nice by coming to him and saying, let's just dead the book beef and move on. And, it really didn't really involve me, you feel me? But I felt like I owed that to him because he really never even really did anything to me personally. Okay. I just felt like I didn't want to be part of the side chick movement. Okay. So once I found out that, I was like, okay, I'm going to go this way.
Side chick movement.
I didn't want to be part of that. And I felt like I deserved better than that. I was a college student, I had a bartending job, I had a secretary job, I was going hard. Why should I have to settle and be a side chick because you're Funk Master?
So you say Funk Master Flex cheat, Shada? He don't cheat.
But you told me you don't cheat. Are you serious? The nigga was on Honey Talk tomorrow, I'm going through counseling. Counseling. You're beyond counseling. Like, you know?
And then we taking the streets over right now. So
it's a Brooklyn thing. You ain't see what Papoose. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Honest to God, I'm gonna cut you up. But now, when he seen Papoose at the Shirt Shop before Hot 97, he approached them, whatever. But if you didn't notice, he just did the same damn thing at Summer Jam. He literally went up there and took his shit. Nobody gave him nothing. So I like to say he did a China star on him. Yeah. Because he sent them the video, so because he kindly asked, can I see the video that everybody's talking about, that booth?
Right.
You know, and so he took in the video, and if I could say so myself, I was part of that motivation, that Brooklyn motivation, that get up off your high horse, fuck what niggas is saying, take it type shit.
Right.
You know, so yeah, that
take
he
it.
did a China stuff when shot me out. You know, hit me up, let him know what's going on. I know I had something to do with that because how long he's been out?